Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Kyle and I'm here with my purpose collaborator, Brandon Peele. Hello, Brandon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Great. Hey, we're glad you're here with us today as we continue to explore how you can fully activate your purpose in the world. So Brandon and I know this to be true is that what often comes up for people, in my case included, as they start their own purpose activation process are resistance or blocks that keep them from owning and fully expressing their purpose. So that's our focus today, is on what we call the 3 core purpose blocks. So let me start with a question for you. Here we go. So what stops you particularly from claiming or more fully living your purpose? So that's the question to ask yourself. And the challenge we see constantly with people around getting clear on their purpose or them wanting to bring more energy and focus to it is that there's at least one block, one key block, if not 2 or 3, that prevents them from fully expressing their purpose in the world. And we have found that there's really 3 fundamental blocks that most people fall into. And that's what we call the 3 top purpose blocks. And so we're going to start with today in this video with purpose block number 1. And Brandon's going to dive into that with us. So Brandon?
Thanks, Chris. So the first purpose block is the fear triad. So when people decide to find their purpose or to take their purpose out into the world, these 3 core fears come up. And they are the fear of survival, usually financial, the fear of failure, and the fear of ridicule. So let's start with the first one. So the fear of survival, that is rooted in our limbic system, in our reptilian brain. Anytime an opportunity or change in our career is on the horizon or possible, that fear kicks in. And so it shows up as you decide to live your purpose or find your purpose, and then all of a sudden this voice says, you're going to lose everything. You're going to lose your livelihood, you're going to lose your home, you're not going to be able to feed your kids, everyone's going to leave you, you're going to be poor. And so it's a lot easier just to avoid the question of purpose altogether than deal with that fear. So the second fear is the fear of failure. And that means when we decide to explore or live our purpose in the world, that we're actually going to be taking some risk. We're going to be doing something new, something potentially much more original, creative, and fulfilling, but that also brings with it the potential to not have it be well received. And so what we might make of that failure is that we ourselves are failures, that we don't have what it takes, so that our whole person is indeed a failure. And so again, it's a lot easier just to avoid the concept or discussion of purpose than to entertain that question that we might be failures, which we're not. And so the third fear is the fear of ridicule. So we all have a desire to look good, to be accepted, and to be loved. The thing is, when we share our purpose and take it out in the world, our family, friends, colleagues, maybe even our partner can ridicule us. They can belittle us, diminish us, reject us. And that honestly has nothing to do with your purpose or you, but has to do with the possibility of you living purpose, meaning purpose is a possibility for everybody. And so when somebody sees that somebody else is living their purpose, that means that they're not, that they're still in the default life, and that brings up a lot of resistance. So it's totally natural to fear other people's rejection, but again, it has nothing to do with you. So now that you know what the 3 core fears are, let's give you some tools to work through them. Chris?
Great, thank you, Brandon. So we've developed a 3-step flow of how to work with these natural fears of the fear triad. And they are, the first step is awareness of the fear. The second step is allow and embrace the fear. And the third step is open to a new choice in the face of the fear. So let's start with the first one. So awareness of the fear. So it's so critical that in our lives as we move through what's happening in our lives, particularly around our own purpose journey, is to notice and acknowledge the fear that comes up. And it's important to pause yourself during these moments where you can feel the fear coming and take a deeper look inside at what is that fear. We're hoping that you're able to name it as one of these fear triad ones. It's probably one of those that's emerging for you. So it's important that you find a way to name it and see it in your own way, in your own terms, bringing it out of the shadow, bringing it into the light, and being able to recognize it as a natural fear, that this is completely natural and not something that you need to move away from or push away or deny. So that leads us to the second step. So the second step is allowing and embracing this fear. So once you're aware of your unique flavor of the fear, then you're ready to embrace it with self-compassion. You're ready to embrace it as a part of the natural mechanism of you extending yourself, of doing things differently, of finding new ways of being that all tend to bring up these fears. so that as you can begin to accept that and bring self-compassion to the fear as a natural part of your purpose journey, then you can see that it's going to start to have less energy and impact on you. It's going to have less ability to take you down, that you'll be able to move through it more efficiently and effectively regarding your purpose. So that's what brings us to the final step in this three-step flow, and that is open to a new choice. So now that you've just simply acknowledged it, and then you've allowed it to be there and embraced it as a part of your journey, as a natural part of your journey, now you have the full capability with your full awareness to make a new choice. You simply make a new choice. Instead of letting the fear drive a choice, you begin to make a choice more from your purpose, meaning what pulls you more into that passionate, alive place of your purpose, and that you get to choose to move through the fear or move to the other side of the fear where your purpose can be more fully activated. So the fear doesn't take you down anymore. So that's our three-step process. And then Brandon's going to give you one final piece that you can use on your journey here.
Thanks, Chris. So now that you have this powerful three-step process, I want to talk to you about a fourth way to really enhance your ability to move through resistance and fear. And that's support, meaning mentorship, really. So what does it mean to engage with the power of mentorship? So Chris and I have had numerous mentors in virtually every area of our life, and they've been very helpful. And so what defines a mentor is somebody who's just slightly further along the path than you are, perhaps more clear on their purpose, and that they also have skills with listening, processing, and reframing your fear and resistance. And so it's important to pick somebody from your network or a team of folks that meet these conditions. They're further along and they've got skills. I'd also like to share with you a really powerful program that Chris and I co-teach called the Man on Purpose 7-week online course. In that course, we'll explore a powerful reframe process that allows you to examine every single one of your fears and reframe it, to flip it and unlock the hidden potential, the power and the juice of that fear to propel you on your path of purpose. So if you want to learn more about that, please go to the course information page at manonpurpose.com. Chris and I are happy to support you on your journey of purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, man. And again, that website is manonpurposecourse.com, manonpurposecourse.com. We hope to see you there. Thanks.